Hey guys, interesting video on Wild Rift. So we're back with a Caitlyn commentary guide. Now we haven't done a commentary guide in a really long time. We've been churning out all those supplementary guides and complete guides, but you know I felt that this one really isn't any one of those. It's just a normal commentary guide. Why is that the case? Because basically the only change is that I'm taking Demolish, but we're right into the action where Lux walks up into the bush that we're in, and we're basically pelting her, stacking our lethal tempo, and basically by now we have a full stack lethal tempo, Q through the minions and catch her right on the edge for the kill. I also managed to hit shot onto the Varus to pop his nullifying orb, and yeah, so really good start to the game. We do have another headshot prime. I'm trying to hit Varus with it. He's really low. Boom. Varus takes the headshot. I flash forward, auto for the kill, and I execute myself onto the tower. And so does Nami, because Lux obviously has shown up to the party. And if I walk towards her, I'm just gonna give her a free kill. So it's better to execute and not give them anything than to, of course, give them a kill for no reason. So yeah, basically this build, all that I've changed is the build is completely the same as what I've described in the complete guide and supplementary guides that I did. It's just lethal tempo, the lethal tempo build with Hunter Vampirism, with Nullifying Orb, and now with Demolish. And the build I'm going for is Stormrazor into IE, into Boots of Furor and a Boot Enchant, most likely Stasis, and then going for the Rapid Fire Cannon, Moral Reminder, and finally the GA. So yeah, so the Demolish on Caitlyn, the whole premise of this idea is Caitlyn is a lane bully. As you guys can see, we are bullying them really hard. And when you bully them out of lane, or when you get kills, you can use the Demolish to proc onto the tower to get more tower plates. Now honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, in this match we don't do the best example of that. However, you can still see like the concept of what we're actually trying to do here. So here we've actually managed to push in all the way. Now the issue with Demolish is that you gotta be really close to the tower to actually proc it, which is what I'm trying to do here. So I do actually end up procking the Demolish there, and I took a tower shot from our efforts, but overall I think that's worth it, so it's because we did get the plate with both of them, even with both of them around. So here either way, we're just gonna continue shoving them in. Tristana does manage to pick up the kill onto the Lux, and I end up tanking the tower a little bit. I'm gonna go for another tower plate. As you guys can see, we do get another tower plate. Varus left at 1 HP, nearly caught him with the 90 caliber net, but unfortunately that does not connect. And Tristana tries flashing in to kill the Varus, but Varus does actually manage to get the recall, so he does manage to escape. In the meanwhile, Vi does actually show up and get the counter kill onto the Tristana, who's obviously behind the enemy tower. So that kind of forces us to retreat. We can't actually push onto the tower to get more plates because the Vi is around, and you know, sticking around would kind of be a really bad idea. Alright, so we do have enough to pick up the Stormrazor. So Stormrazor already acquired within 3 minutes. So we're really strong, of course. And as you guys can see from the gold, we have double of Lux's gold and almost double of Varus gold. So we are here ready to basically destroy them. Varus is still only level 4. I'm of course already level 5. Lux is already level 5, and so is Nami. Obviously that's because Varus did die, but Lux... actually Lux died as well, but after the first death on Varus, I think Lux got all the solo XP from the minions. Either way, we get the headshot onto the Varus. Unfortunately, Nami gets one shot, and I get hit by the Varus ultimate and exhausted, then hit by Lux's electrocute and also her combo, and I die as well. So a little bit too aggressive on that one, I guess you could say, but it looks like Tristana is going to rotate over for the cleanup. There we go, in goes Tristana, easy kill onto the Varus. Really weird hop by the Tristana after the kill onto the Varus. Not sure where she thought the Lux was going, but now they're gonna run into the Morgana. So here it becomes sort of a mini skirmish. They're in a 2v3 at the moment, about to be a 2v4 when I arrive. I try to use the ace in the hole on Morgana, however Lux does block it for her, so unfortunately no kill picked up from me. I get a deep ward into their jungle area. As you guys can see, their blue buff area is really warded. There's 3 wards there, so any jungler coming through, we are gonna be seeing him. So we are really safe in terms of ganks in that aspect. So So here, turns out Morgana was already in the bush, so guess not as safe as I thought. And does manage to get the chain CC off onto the Nami. Nami got triple rooted there with the Lux binding the Morgana, Dark binding, as well as the Varus chain of corruption. So triple root there onto the Nami. No way she's getting out of there. Here Tristana's going in. Mountain Drake is up, Lux is burning from the Ignite, Tristana flashes forward and finishes off the kill onto the Lux, and Vi has to run with her tail between her legs because she obviously cannot 1v3. So here, trying to go back to the dragon, and meanwhile they're sticking around to pick up a plate in mid lane. Not the worst idea in the world, so here we're gonna of course do the dragon. And in the meantime, Varus is sort of pushing and kind of trying to get back into the game by doing a little bit of tower damage. I think he got a plate there. But of course, Dragon is more important. We can't really stop the Varus and give up the Dragon instead. Now in comes the Lux. Lux basically just getting auto attacked down by me. As you guys can see, fully stacking my lethal tempo and basically blasting her into next week. So there goes the Lux. I spot the Varus over here on the back side. I'm trying to blast him as much as I can. Vi ults me, and I'm in trouble. Vi hits the Q, and I'm in more trouble, and I am dead. So you will realize that one of the biggest problems with Caitlyn, or not just really Caitlyn, but a lot of ADCs, is when someone just dives you in the backline, and this Vi is really good at doing that. We'll see that later on in the game as well. Like Vi constantly is aiming for me, ulting me, and queuing into me, which is of course what she should be doing, but it is of course a little bit annoying when they do that. Like at sometimes at like lower levels of play or at different games, you will see that the Vi just goes in on like the tanky frontline target and pretty much just ignores the backline, which basically makes my job really easy. But in this case, she's doing none of that. She's always aiming for me, which is of course what she should be doing. But unfortunately for me, that means that it's gonna make my life really difficult. So it is what it is. So here we can see that the Rift Herald is up. We can see Vi is at the Rift Herald, Lux is at the Rift Herald. So here I'm trying to actually get the tower. I proc the Demolish, does about 500 plus extra damage for me, which does make the tower go down to about 300 HP. So after pushing out this wave, we should be able to easily pick up this tower, especially considering that Lux is still making her way down. And we can pretty much just bully the Varus away, as you guys can see here. He can't stick around unless he wants to, die. So here we headshot the tower and one more auto for the tower kill. Now Ahri is on the roam down. Lux does manage to hit her root onto me, but I'm gonna use the ace in the hole to snipe out the Lux from over the wall. Ahri and Nami in a 2v1 against the Varus. Varus nearly gets the trade onto the Nami, but I net myself into range to auto attack the Varus to finish him off before he can get the counter kill onto the Nami. So a lot more damage from Varus than what we were expecting, but it all worked out in the end. So now we're going to back and pick up the BF sword as well as the cloak, building towards the IE. 5-3 and 2 now. Not the best KD in the world, but definitely not the worst as well. We got the most gold in the game. Tryndamere is actually really closely behind. And here the Rift Herald, they're going to try to push down this tower. I'm taking this opportunity to free fire on the Tryndamere and basically stack up my lethal tempo. This forces the Tryndamere to actually run away. Morgana for some reason decides not to run away and realizes that I can kill her, and she does blow her flash. I flash forward to follow, and I do pick up the kill onto her. And with that, we killed the Rift Herald, but the Rift Herald did get the tower, and we also get the wave. And we're now going to go for the Gromp. Or not, because we see Tryndamere really low here. Of course, doesn't have ult anymore, so I'm going to launch the ace in the hole, and I do get the kill onto the Tryndamere himself. So, kind of a lazy back by the Tryndamere there, considering my whole team was chasing him. He should have gone a lot further back, and my team gave me the vision to allow me to lock on my ultimate onto him. So even though he eat away from my team, he can't really dodge my ultimate. No one is there to block for him, so he does take the L there. So here Ahri picks up a kill onto the Lux, and in the meantime, as usual, I'm just pushing out the mid lane, and I'm pushing out the bot lane, and in the meantime, while waiting for the next wave, I'm pretty much just farming the Krugs, getting farm wherever I can. Next wave is here, so I'm gonna go over to the wave and start last hitting. I already have my 2-atom power spike of the Storm Razor with the Infinity Edge. Also completed the Boots of Furor, of course going for the Boot Enchant next. And I see a fight happening at the mid lane. Varus gets the kill onto the Renekton, and Varus is going for the Nami next. Gets the kill onto the Nami, but I'm over here gonna get the kill onto him. So here, ace in the hole for the finishing touch onto the Varus. He does blow his flash and exhaust on me, but still dies anyways. So kind of really not worth it for him. Now Tryndamere has actually picked up a Hullbreaker, sorry, as you guys can see, and he's gonna be starting to split push, as you guys can see as well. There he is in the top lane, trying to get off a split push. Now here I'm gonna pretty much just wait around for the minions and just gonna clear the minions so that he can't really push any further. Of course, I can't really 1v1 the Tryndamere, so I'm gonna just have to clear out the waves whenever they come in. The next dragon is coming up in 20 seconds or so, so we're gonna have to basically rotate over. Red Trail also coming up in another 25 seconds, so in this case really similar. Now Tryndamere again is back on the split push. Now I have no idea how Renekton walked all the way past him and past the wave. I don't know what the Renekton is really doing here, but anyways, I'm a little bit too far away to do anything about it, so instead I'm actually going to go for the Varus. He actually does ult. He Zhonya's to actually prevent me from killing him, and Vi actually comes in for the ult on me. I have to stasis because Vi is on me, and I do manage to kill the Varus right before the Vi kills me. Vi eats the charm, but she does have the GA, decides to turn and goes in on the Nami instead of retreating, where obviously the Nami bubble was, and we do manage to pop the GA with the help of the Renekton. And Tryndamere did of course die, within this play, to, I believe it was the Renekton. And we do manage to kill 4 people on the enemy team. This should be able to give us a relatively free dragon. And yeah, so here we go, trying to stack the dragons. Of course, we already have the ocean one. Now we're going for the mountain dragon. Obviously, having the more dragons you have, the more the buffs stack and increase. So of course, that is the goal here. So here, of course, we do secure the dragon. The Morgana and Lux does show up to try to contest it, but basically it's gone before they even really reach. And yeah, they don't really overextend, so we can't really get any picks onto them. In the meantime, huge bot lane wave. I'm of course heading over to collect all of the last hits from the bot lane wave. Tryndamere is here, so here I'm just basically attacking him at range, headshot him, and yeah, as you guys can see, if he can't get in range to basically attack me, I can pretty much just destroy him. However, of course the concern is if he gets too close to me, and then I'm gonna be in trouble. So basically I just want to maintain my distance and shoot him when I can. So he realizes that this lane cannot be pushed anymore with me sticking around and with a tower as well. So he just back off, and I'm instead just going to pick up the Krugs. He of course does know that because he did ward the Krugs, but my team gets a pick onto the Lux on the opposite side of the map. Now Tryndamere is back to his split pushing shenanigans, as you guys can see. So instead we're gonna decide to try to trade onto the mid lane tower if possible. We do have a wave in mid, and Morgana appears to be the only one here defending. Dodge the Morgana binding, and I'm gonna try to blast the mid lane tower. Of course, standing a little bit closer so I can proc the Demolish. Demolish procs. I think it did nearly 1k damage there. Here Varus ult into the Vi ult into the Vi Q, puts me into a spot of bother, and there I go. So yeah, the chain CC is really disgusting from their team. Like, they have so much CC that if somebody hits a CC, everybody else is gonna hit their CC. Now think about, like, if Lux hits the binding, Morgana's gonna hit the binding, Varus is gonna hit the ultimate, Vi is gonna hit the Q, and that's our deal. So they really have a very easy time killing a single target if they really want to. And yeah, so now Tristana is now on the duty to stop the Tryndamere from split pushing, but she unfortunately does die to the Tryndamere. So that's not really what we're looking for there. But on the bright side, she does manage to stop the split push because Tryndamere is low, so he does have to back. So we don't actually lose any inhibitors. Now basically, versus a split pusher, as long as you don't lose inhibitors, it's pretty much I wouldn't say all good, but it's, that's the main goal, is to not lose inhibitors, because it's of course really hard to macro and play around a split pusher, especially because it generally requires your team's top laner to respond to the split pusher. Because generally, if you're like an ADC or a mage, you can be fighting a Hulkbreaker Tryndamere. Like, you're not gonna win against him most likely, so you need your top laner to really go and fight him. But sometimes they don't, which is why they get tier 1 and tier 2 towers. Of course, that's sort of their goal when they're split pushing, so they do achieve some of that goal, but as long as they don't get an inhibitor, I think it's still fine. So here we spot Vi on the blue buff, and we're trying to set a trap. So here, as you guys can see, control ward into the bush. Vi was thinking about just jumping blind into the bush, but she thought better of it and didn't get caught in the trap. Instead, Lux manages to suss us out and does manage to actually hit all of us with her Lucent Singularity, and she does spot that we're all in the bush. So in the meantime, I'm trying to rotate over to top lane to try to get a pick onto the Tryndamere and the Vi. Now Tryndamere, of course, back to his usual shenanigans of split pushing. Vi gets caught out. Tryndamere gets caught out as well. Tryndamere gets exhausted, charmed, and basically just pelted by everybody. So Tryndamere, of course, has his Undying Rage on, so really difficult to kill him at this point. So I'm waiting for it to run out like that, and then I'm going to ult him for the easy kill. And Lux realizes she's out of position. She flashes the wall, and here I'm just trying to go on the chase with Renekton, but I get hit by the Lux binding, and I'm pretty much kind of out of the chase. And now here Renekton gets hit by a root, and now here the chase is still ongoing. Of course, I'm being really cautious, because if I get caught out by some CC, I could get one shot by the Lux, especially since the Lux has her ultimate up. So I decide that it's probably not the best idea to chase in that jungle choke point, so we're just gonna back off, taking the enemy crowds on our way out. And yeah, here Ahri gets caught, gets ulted by the Vi, ulted by the Lux, not even necessary, and does just instantly die. So here Varus gets caught out. He gets caught, and he basically runs straight into the Tristana, and he just dies. But now Nami's the one getting caught out, dies to Morgana, but Morgana we do trade the kill onto the Morgana. Tristana gets the reset, jumps onto the Lux, and gets the kill onto the Lux as well. And here now Tryndamere is the one getting caught out. It's just people getting caught out non-stop, but Tryndamere has the Undying Rage. I don't have my ultimate anymore, so he does escape with the Undying Rage. Vi escapes with her flash, and there was a long chain of events where a lot of things happened. So the Infernal Dragon coming up in 10 seconds. However, the Rift Herald that was placed down just now on the top lane is reaching all the way to the inhibitor tower. So I need to stop this Rift Herald from blasting my inhibitor. So here, as you guys can see, I'm blasting it at the weak spot in the eye. Thankfully, my minion wave does come in to stop the Rift Herald from charging, and I am able to clear out both the Rift Herald as well as the wave. Now that of course pulled me to the top lane, which is not where I want to be because there is a dragon up. Vi does come in, however, we do secure the dragon before she even has time to get into the pit, so not too big of a problem there. And yeah, we do stop the Rift Herald. All our inhibitors are still good. Tryndamere gets a mid lane tier 1, which is surprisingly still standing after 17 minutes of the game. Vi trying something sneaky, but we do have the Bush Warlord, so I get 2 free attacks onto the Vi. And at this point, I'm a late game Caitlyn. I'm hurting a lot, so a couple auto attacks will in fact destroy anybody. Now Varus Stasis does save him over there. I flash forward. Varus actually manages to trade onto the Ahri before he dies. A lot of damage coming out from the Varus now. He does of course have the Mirror Mana as well as a lot of other items. So here they stop us from backing, so we decide to, instead of back and defend, we decide to actually just turn and fight. So here the Morgana actually manages to escape with her life. Vi comes in, eats a root from me, gets exhausted by me, goes unstoppable, and does pop her GA. I'm gonna put down a lot of traps, so she basically has nowhere to go. Gets hit by another root. If she walked further back one more step, she would have gotten root again, so really no escape for her. And down she goes. So Tryndamere did actually die to the Renekton. Renekton was successful in defending the tower against the Tryndamere, so really nice one there. I do dodge the Morgana binding and take down the tower. Morgana sticks around a little bit too long. As you guys can see, I destroy her in about 4 auto attacks. Could even be 3 if like I crit on all of them. I believe I didn't crit on one of them. So we do instantly just destroy the Morgana. So now what do we do now? 3 members are dead. It's Baron time. So here I'm pinging for the Baron, pinging for Tristana to assist. And I'm going to wait to blast cone over the wall. Nami takes the long way round, so I'm just going to blast cone over myself. Tristana does have a jump to get over the wall, so no real need to wait for her. Now we're 5-man strong onto the Baron. Lux does spot it out, however there's really nothing they can do. It's only a Lux and a Varus. If they walk in, they're just pretty much just going to go into the meat grinder and they're just going to be dead. So instead we get the Baron, we get the recall. Now we're full build, GA completed. And yeah, so here I'm actually going to take the red buff. Now Tristana isn't doing all that bad, but obviously I'm doing way better than her at this point in time. I have 5k more gold than her, I'm full build. She only has her first 2 items and her boot enchant, doesn't even have her 3rd item yet. Whereas I have all 5 items, so obviously it makes more sense for me to take the red buff. Now next I'm going to move on to taking the enemy's blue buff. Since it is up, just going to take it, why not? Then I see a fight happening in the mid lane. I see the Vi, gonna just destroy her. I see the Morgana, I'm gonna just destroy her as well. 3 auto attacks kills her instantly. I see Varus, 3 auto attacks kills him as well. Triple kill for me. I see the Lux, I'm just gonna destroy her as well, putting down the traps to make sure she can't escape. And Bubble Trap, I get the Quadra. No Penta for me because Tryndamere is still too busy split pushing to even defend his base. So we do get the win over there. So you guys can see that Demolish Caitlyn actually pretty not bad. Even if you don't get plates, you do kill towers faster. So anyways guys, I'll leave you guys with the stats as usual. Thank you guys so much for watching the video, and goodbye.